So I'm up here with Todd Stone from Central Oregon Survival Network, and we're just kind of looking for a suitable spot that has kind of a nice balance between a good location and close proximity of materials to work with. And this is what we would be looking for, is someplace that has a lot of materials, all of those small saplings, as well as all the dead fall around in there. So we're going to wander back into that tree line and see if we can identify a spot to build a little fire and build a shelter. So our thought is that we'll work off of this tree, and we'll use the canopy of this tree as part of our roof, trying to kind of strike that balance between how much energy we put into it versus how much protection it offers us. Todd's just trimming up a few of them right now to open up our hole for our basic structure. We're saving the boughs because those will become part of our windbreak or weather break. And then also in the meantime, there'll be a dry place for us to set our packs on. So we've kind of finished the first step. We've trimmed the branches out of here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mount basically a bracket to this tree. So we're going to have 2 poles coming down to the side and then a horizontal pole across the top. That'll be the back of the framework for our shelter.
Yes. I mean, this has only taken us a couple minutes so far, and if we weren't recording, it'd probably be a lot faster. So, like you said, you'll see when it comes out, you'll kind of see how we designed it.
So we have the back wall of the shelter in place. We have 2 uprights, a crossbar, and then the upright on the other side. We lash the corners, and then we lash the crossbar to the tree. So we got the framework done of the shelter. So the roof of the shelter is sloping forward. We have 4 corner posts, and then we've just started laying in some laterals or some horizontals across the top. So this will basically give us our framework. We'll start laying in. We might cover the top of it with a tarp and then just start laying in natural materials to block off the sides from the wind. We got a nice little bonus visit from Primalarcher.
So right now I'm trying to get these stakes stuck in the ground. I got 1 log down here already, but I'm going to use these stakes. I'm going to build up probably about this high, and then we'll tie these off at the top, and that will be our reflector for our fire right in front of the...
Alright, so we got the top pieces on the shelter, and now we're adding the side pieces. So we're probably going to use some pine boughs and cover this up.
With this particular shelter, we've taken advantage of the canopy of the tree for our primary coverage above us. So our roof doesn't need to be real substantial, but we do need to get the walls walled in nice and tight so we have protection from the wind. All right, so we've pretty much finished up with our survival shelter today. It's all natural materials, obviously. We use the evergreen boughs to go over that framework that we showed you guys earlier. Primalarcher built a pretty awesome reflective wall for the fire, and Todd from Central Oregon Survival Network is on the inside of the shelter. How is it in there?
Nice, very nice.
You can feel the heat from the fire.
Yeah, this would be a great spot. Overnighters easy.
So this is what we consider an extreme cold weather shelter. This shelter is designed so that it'll take the heat from the fire and circulate it up into the shelter. So what's really important about that design is that the roof of the shelter slopes downward and forward towards the fire. So the heat from the fire hits the roof of the shelter, it travels up the roof of the shelter, and as that air cools, it drops down on top of you inside the shelter. So you get this convection effect inside the shelter. The traditional shelters, where you just do a lean-to like this, don't as efficiently heat. Heat tends to hit that shelter, and then, as you guys know, heat rises. So heat wants to rise and move out of that shelter, so it takes much more fire to efficiently heat a lean-to shelter. You switch that pitch of the roof, it takes a little bit more effort, but now it'll be really comfortable in there. That shelter you can sleep in 0 degrees. And all right, so we're packing up and walking away from our shelter. We might come up here next weekend and actually spend a night or 2 in it. So we're going to leave everything set up, and we've got maybe about 45 minutes more of light. Maybe not even that much.
I don't even think that much.
So